All right, and we'll go ahead and officially get started. Welcome, welcome. Let me hear real quick, and I'm going to start with Sheila and Lucia because they were patiently waiting for a few minutes while I was finishing up with some tech issues. In case any of you ran into a 404 glitch this morning, we had a brief issue. It's been resolved. But I want to hear first, real quick, Sheila, Lucia, if you can give me like a nutshell version of any questions. And then I would also love to hear from Iris and Dan if you have questions or topics you want to chat about today. And we'll dive in. So, Sheila, you want to?
I'll sort of dive in. I've got four quite sort of specific questions,
Four
really.
specific questions. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Similar things to what you've been working on. I kind of have a sense of what you're doing. I
They're
wanted to
actually
try to
more to do
group
with the
things.
the layout and the structure of just I'm trying to make it look the way I want it to look, and I'm not sure whether I'm able to do it. So I think they
Perfect.
might be
Okay.
a question that you'll go, no, yes, type of thing too.
Gotcha. Okay. So page builder stuff maybe, and
Yeah.
okay, layout. Fantastic. And Lucia, do you have questions for us today, or are you hanging out and
I always get mine later.
you get them as they come? I know. Yeah. Okay, perfect. As we talk about all the things. All right. Awesome. And Iris, where are you at? I know you said things are overwhelming and exciting. Great place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just signed up for the platform 3 weeks
Right.
ago. And then I also jumped into the Black Friday offer so I could give myself the push that I need to not procrastinate and get this done in the next 3 months.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I've been exploring the Experienceify platform. I'm creating a workshop. So I'm starting with the simple steps.
Hmm.
Just a workshop and just a one page for the course, which is basically the home page rather than, add more trainings.
Hmm.
So yeah, as I'm kind of exploring, things are coming up. Some I resolve, but I had one question
Hmm.
that I haven't found a resolution yet. Is for the quizzes and like how does a quiz work? I can't seem to find a
Gotcha.
particular feature for it.
Got it. Okay, perfect. We'll go through that.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Welcome. And Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. I was on a
Awesome.
call last night, my time,
Hmm.
um, trying to resolve some automation issue and how to release the bonuses.
Okay.
I was pointed to a training, but it seems that the platform has been updated since then, as it no
Mm.
longer has a bonus section when it goes to create modules. So the training would have been helpful,
It no
except
longer has a bo okay, I'll get into that with you. Okay, but
yeah, it
you're
doesn't. I
I'm
can't
a
follow it stepwise
yeah.
because it's the program's been updated, and so the training was recorded previously,
Right, right,
and now
yeah.
there's a mismatch between the training and what I actually see
And
on
your
my.
goal is basically to set up an automation to release
I
a
want. There are
bonus.
two things. They both
Uh-huh.
relate to automations.
Okay.
One is I want to release a bonus at the end of training number two for my EMC.
Okay.
And then the other is my last question is a multiple choice. There is no correct answer. And I
Mm-hmm.
want each of the answers to fire off a different email. Answer A,
Gotcha.
email
Yep.
A. Answer B, email B. And I want to make sure that I've got that set up.
Perfect. So this will fit in with Iris's quiz question. We can go through all of that. All right, fantastic. So we're gonna hit all the or a bunch of pieces. We're gonna do page builder, we're gonna do automations, we're gonna do kind of overall building things. So we will dive in, and I'll also mention that if anybody wants more in-depth help with actually building out your course, we have done for you work from our team here. We also have certified experts who know the platform very well. In fact, Dan, you were probably on Becky's call last night. She's one of our
Okay.
certified experts, and they also offer one-on-one services. If you just want to meet with somebody and say, here's what I want, you do it for me, that's available too. So
Quick
whenever
question.
there's, yeah,
Is that prorated to what's being done? Because if I've done
the
90% and
the
then it's
certified
10%
experts
left,
are their own independent agents.
sure.
So you will
Yep.
talk to them and say, here's what I need. What are you going
Yep.
to charge me?
Yep.
And they'll work that out with you.
And then the other done by Experienceify is a whole package thing, and it's just the
That's
one.
also flexible. So if you want to do
Okay.
it through XP, just email Marina. All of these links are in the support. When you first log into your help center, there's a general message that says, here's how to get support, and there's all
Yep.
the links and all the things. So you can reach out to Marina through there, and she will work with you if you want to just have her or our team
Okay.
take it off your plate.
Perfect.
So awesome. Yeah. Thanks, all. Great, great stuff. So, Sheila, why don't we start with talking about setup or layout or design?
Yes, one of my questions is actually linked to a quiz as well. So
Ah,
that's
perfect.
bizarre how that's all sort of
It,
working out for
it
everyone.
always works. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a screen to look at while we talk and tell me what is up, Sheila. What have you got going
So
on?
I've got like my four questions. The
Yeah.
first one is what I've done is I really like the layout of where there's a video and then some text to the left-hand side, which
Uh-huh.
is in the
Yep.
builder. But what I would really like to do is that text is linked to a one-off action that they earn points for watching the video once. But I can't seem to get it to have the same layout, a training to have the same layout as the video sort of block template.
Okay, let me make sure I understand and start with one common question and then we'll
Yeah.
dive in deeper. So one thing to know is that you have in every course, you have a single training page, and that page is going to be the template for all trainings, and it's not going to vary training by training. You might already know that,
Yeah.
Sheila, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that relates. Okay. So,
I was sort of hoping that they would click a video
uh-huh.
and they would do an action once and
Okay.
then that's it and they never do it again. Do I set that up as a training? And so,
I think so, if I'm hearing you
right,
right. So you just want them, they're going through the course, they watch a training, they have an action, they click it, it's done, they go to the next training.
right, okay, I'll set that up as a training then, thank you.
Yeah. So
My
kind of,
next question was linked to I've got a quiz that I've done on Quizify, which is linked to conditional logic.
mhm.
And so I felt that it's probably best to keep it on Quizify and then just embed it over, but I didn't know whether that was possible.
Do they have to log in to Quizify to see it?
No.
Okay, then that's great. Then that should be
How do I
quite
do the
doable.
embedding in of the code?
Perfect. Let's talk about quiz it. Actually, let's talk about that first. Let me go ahead and share my screen and I will walk you through all the ways you can embed things. So I'm in my admin dashboard here. I'm going to go into my courses on the left-hand side. I'm going to open a test course. And we've got, just to go over the basics, we've got steps 1 through 6 here. We've got step 3 where we would put the actual content of our trainings. And we've got step 4 where we design the pages. And this is important because there are actually options, Sheila and everyone, for where you can embed things. And that might happen in step 3 or it might happen in step 4. So Sheila, in your case, you want to embed a quiz. It's a specific quiz for a specific training. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to want to put that in the individual training. Another option just for people in general is you could embed something into a page in the course that's going to show up every time the student sees, for example, the all training page. But if you want it to just show up in one training, we're going to go into your step 3, open that up, and we're going to open up our module and we're going to look at our trainings here. And I'm going to hover here to edit the training. And I got a few options here. I could put embed code
Right.
in my training notes by hitting my / key. And keep in mind, in most any text field you're in, you can always try this. In most any text field, you can hit your / key, which will pull up this editor menu. And once you see this menu, you can scroll down to
I see
HTML,
now. Yeah,
paste it right in here.
that makes sense.
So that's option 1, is directly in your training notes, Sheila. And I would think that might be well, actually, let's think about this. You could put it right in the training notes, or you could go into actions and points and create a training action. And once again, in the body of the action, we could hit our / key and paste some embed code right there.
I can have a play. Yeah.
Yeah. So where these will show up for the student is going to look like, if you put it in the training notes, it's going to show up right in here, and there will be an embedded quiz. If you put it in the training action, it's going to show up like right in here. Make sense?
Brilliant. Yes, thank you.
So that's probably going to be your answer. Again, we could also embed code in step 4. I'm thinking if we should look, while we're here, why don't we look at just the basics of quizzes real quick, and then we'll continue. So if I want to add a quiz, again, I'm going to edit my training. And so to answer the question about how do you actually do a quiz, the first way is Sheila's way. You can embed something from another tool. If you have a tool you like, or even a Google form, you can just put a link or embed a quiz directly into the interface so your students will see exactly what you want them to see. But you can also create a quiz by going into actions and points. And what we're going to do here to create a quiz is we're going to click add. So I've just created a new action here. And for the action type, this is my first decision when I create a new action. I'm going to set the type, which is either a checkbox, an essay response, or a multiple choice. And I want a multiple choice. So for a typical standard quiz that's going to have a right and wrong answer, you're going to put in your possible answers here, and you're going to choose which one is correct. If you are doing a quiz that does not have a right answer, so more like a survey or just getting information or anything like that, you're just going to unselect so that there's not a single right answer. So now you have a quiz, and of course right here you've got your question, then you've got answer 1, and obviously you'll fill that in, answer 2, answer 3. And to answer the first half of Dan's question, when you enter an answer, you can give the student a tag based on that answer. Once they have a tag, we can start an email sequence for them very easily in the experience engine.
Does it matter where because you have to create the tag, create the automation, right? And then tag the person with the answer. Does the automation, because it's if it's the last step that I'm doing, the next step is course completed, which is going to do the celebration thing. Congratulations, you finished all this type of stuff, right? but I also want it to then fire off an email. Does it matter whether I put that where I put that automation sequence? And do I do one for each of the answers? If I have 5 answers, do I do, I'm calling it my next steps, right? So next step one, next step two, next step three. So I
Mm-hmm.
create 5 automations that all trigger
Mm-hmm.
with the tag
Mm-hmm.
and it fires off the email. Is that the
Correct.
correct sequencing of things?
Each you create as many automations as you want different emails.
Okay. I don't need, because I was looking at the categories and then whatever else, and I was like, I think I just create a tag and create an automation, and I don't try and lump them together as one sequence, but just individual fire off 5 different
Yeah, that's
responses.
simple. Yeah.
Okay.
So just create an automation based on each of these tags.
Okay. Perfect.
Cool. So, any other questions about quizzes for the moment? Is this fairly clear how to set up a quiz? Iris, you
I
got, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. So how does the response look like? Do we get something like how does it show up the
Mhm.
moment that they get the
Oh,
right
great,
answer?
great. Yeah, yeah. That is going to show up in the student's activity log.
Hmm.
So when you go into the students section, and we can look at that, and you open up a student's profile, you're going to see a log of all of their activity. It's also going to show up in their activity feed, in your activity feed. And the really good thing that just happened recently is that you can now export a CSV file of all of your quiz responses. So basically,
Okay.
you don't have to go through and search activity logs. You're going to just do I would need to think about exactly where. Go to the students section. You would select for a quiz type. I can show you how to do this. And then you
Hmm.
can export a CSV file and just print out all of your quiz responses. So at the end of your
Hmm.
course, you can get the full list. But otherwise, the place that it would be stored is
Hmm.
in the student's actual activity log. Does that make sense?
Um, sort of. So my objective, my goal for the quiz is in the beginning of the course, I want to give them a quiz, a questionnaire, really,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so they can rate themselves. For example, I'm going to do a stress course, so I want them
Mm-hmm.
first to rate where they're at with their stress levels, and then do a post um, quiz poll questionnaire at the end of the course to see how they progressed on
Perfect.
these particular points. So
Awesome.
this is the kind of quiz that I was thinking about and looking for. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they fill out, let's say I'll have 7 questions, 8 questions,
Mm-hmm.
um, so they can be multiple choice. And when they finish this, is there a place where I can see the score, like how they scored, and will they see that? And right, and at the
Mm-hmm.
end when they take the same quiz,
Mm-hmm.
to be
Mm-hmm.
able to compare the two.
You know what? For something like this, you might want to think about if there's an external tool that does
Mm-hmm.
more specifically what you want, as
Mm-hmm.
far as like, seeing all the numbers and organizing them and um, maybe even doing graphs or pie charts or some
Mm-hmm.
kind of visual would be really cool for this. I don't know, just throwing
Mm-hmm.
out some ideas here, but for what you're talking about, it would be really great for students to see that visually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible there might be another tool that does specifically quizzes. I'm also just going to throw into the mix that we also have your Go Plus account as an
Mm-hmm.
option,
Mm-hmm.
which has its own quizzes and ways of doing things and might have more
Mm-hmm.
features for you. Kind of just thinking through this out loud, Iris, to be honest, as
Right.
we go, because I think XP's quiz function is going to give you the basics for what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. I think you could get fancier and cooler with what the
Mhm.
purpose is for you here. So I'll just put that out there if it's helpful. You can in XP's direct feature, you can collect all the information, store the information, print it out. I'm sure there's some creative way to display it visually directly in the course. I don't know if I have something in my head at the moment, but you
Right.
might want to either play around with that or consider connecting with someone who builds courses if you want to go that route. But those are kind of
Yeah,
your three options. Like XP does the basics, gets the info. Another tool or Go Plus might give you more options for like doing cool visuals and things like that.
right, right. Yeah, if how could I find out, like, for example, if any students or anybody has ever done this kind of quiz on XP, if it
Mm,
exists?
yeah. You know what? Post in our Facebook group if you like, or actually what I'm
Ah,
going to
okay.
do today, what I'd like to do today is, are you in the Facebook group, Iris?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually want to pop in a post there today and share the directory of our certified experts because these are all a bunch of people, folks who have just trained and many of them are building their businesses and they'll work with you and they want to build stuff. So I want to pop the directory of all them in there and you can put you're welcome to like pop a comment in that thread or just make a post and say, hey, here's what I want to build. Here's my visual.
Okay.
You can also hop into Sebastian's Go Plus office hours
Hmm.
on Monday and Thursday and
Yeah.
just ask him or do a search on Go High Level, just do Google search can go what do Go High Level quizzes do
Hmm.
and you'll get a million tutorials on
Okay.
what they can look like.
Awesome.
That
Thank
a
you.
good start? Um,
That'll do. That'll do for
for
now.
the moment. Another thing some people have done is they want to be notified, especially if you don't have a ton of quizzes or a ton of students and you want to know, oh, someone just filled out a quiz and you want to go in
Mhm.
and look at it. You can set a tag and this would go when the student checks off the action. So one thing to know is that in XP, they'll do the quiz, they'll check their answer, and then they still need to select done when to indicate that the question is done, like to get the points. So just a
Mhm.
heads up that you want to word it in a way that makes sense with that. But what you
Mhm.
can do is when the student actually checks off the action is done, you can add a tag and then that tag can trigger an email to yourself and say, hey,
Mhm.
Iris, Rachel just filled out
Mhm.
your survey. Hop into her profile and see her results. So that can give you
Okay.
an immediate heads up if that's helpful.
Okay, just one final quick question on this, because I see it here that the points are given if they just take one action. Is it possible to give different points for different responses? So like if,
Great question. Let me think. I don't think so. No, because it's all
no.
part of one. I mean, the way you could, okay, there's a way you could potentially do that, which is making the quiz XXP points instead of XP, first of all, so they're not
Mhm.
required, and do a different question for each answer, meaning you have each action is a different option. So it would be worded like, I'm blah, 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 like I'm this or I'm that. So here's my whole quiz, and the instructions here say select the option uh, that pertains to you. And then it says, here's option one, here's option two, here's option three.
Okay,
They're separate
great.
actions. Keep in mind that if we're going to define course completed as XP defines it, that's defined as all XP actions are checked off. So if you're doing something like this, you might want to name these XXP actions so that they're not required, and then give people an option which one to check off. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay.
And just what is XP? How does it differ from XP?
Yeah, so XXPs are like extra points. So
Mm-hmm.
when if you were going to do an automation at the very end that was based on course completed, or if you were looking at like percentages in your dashboard and you wanted to see like what percentage the student has completed, you can see XPs and XXPs. But if you are building an automation and it's based on course completed, the definition of that is they've checked off all XPs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't have to check off XXPs or bonus points because those are considered extra.
Okay, thank you.
Is that making sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, giving you enough to go on for the moment about quizzes. All right, cool. And I think Sheila still has a couple of questions, and I see a Lucia hand. Um, Lucia, what's going on? Is it new questions, same questions? Where are we
It's
at?
points related. It's
Okay,
points
what do we
related.
got?
Okay, so mine are really simple, because I always forget it. I had to talk about quizzes down on my list today, so yay.
Cool.
And then I wanted to know where we stand on getting social points on the leaderboard.
I don't have an update on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we find out or anything?
There isn't an update at the moment. There's not when it's just not something there's an update on. I'm sorry.
Does that mean it's not in the queue of development at all?
It is still in the roadmap. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then can we manually add or subtract points?
No. Points are always tied to actions.
So, okay, what if hypothetically I discovered that someone has put completed and I can't verify their work? Like I've set up a system where I can verify their work, but what if they've put completed, but there's no verifying their work, so therefore they should not have those points?
Well, then you would need to let them know that they need to uncomplete it, or you would uncomplete it for them.
So we can uncomplete?
You can go in, you can always log in as your student, and like you have full control. So
Oh, okay.
you can
Okay,
always
that
go into
answers,
there.
that suits me just fine. Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. I saw a hand from David, and we have a couple more questions, I believe, from Sheila that we are finishing up. So let's hop back to Sheila, where are we at?
So one of my questions I've answered myself, so that's okay.
Perfect.
So we're now
Okay.
on to the last one.
Okay.
And on when someone is got a membership and they go to cancel and
Mhm.
they have a "Are you sure?" page, before they click "Yes, I'm sure," and they want to leave, is there any way of embedding a survey in to find out the reasons why they want to leave?
Not at the moment. I can
Okay.
put that on a feature request list. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, sometimes they leave because I work with sort of teenagers, and sometimes schoolwork is just so overloading them. So actually, it's got nothing to do with the course. It's more the
Right.
time of year or something like that. So it's always helpful for my ego to know that they don't
Of
think it's bad.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. I'm trying to think if there's any other way. I mean, obviously, and I know you already do this, Sheila, we want it built in like all the way through to be supporting them and checking in with them and how are you doing? Maybe rescue sequences to check if they haven't logged in.
Yeah.
Like typically if someone is canceling, they probably haven't used it, I'm guessing. Or
Quite
no?
often for me, it's
No?
more that the pace of school ramps
Okay.
up, perhaps
Okay.
nearer sort of exam times or something like that. So it's not necessarily
Okay.
however much I would chase and check they're okay. Sometimes external factors are just too much.
Of course,
Yeah.
it just gets overloaded. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to
Yeah,
know. I
yeah.
said it could be a yes or a no type of sort of answers that I had. And just linking in with Lucia's sort of point, it would be nice to be able to, for those people that say attended a Zoom call, that I could allocate them points extra for those that attended that. But I don't really want to have to log in to everyone and allocate them and
Oh, no,
pretend
I
I'm
would.
them.
What about just having them self-report? I attended the Zoom call.
Yes, I
You don't trust them? They're
I don't know
teenagers.
of a nice
Okay.
way to put
I
it. I can
gotcha.
just imagine everyone just going tick, 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 tick. So
You
yes,
could, let me see.
I had
You
thought a
could give
little
them
bit
a
like,
secret code on the call. No, that won't work. Never mind.
but
Yeah,
that's
you're gonna
okay.
have to, yeah.
I'll work around it. But they're all of my questions, so I'll just sort of hang along and listen to other people because it does help me with other things to hear what other people are doing. So thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Sheila. All right, let
We
me hop
could-
to David and then back to Lucia.
I just want
David,
to give Sheila a tip. Can I give Sheila a super fast tip?
go ahead.
When they've attended the Zoom call, create some sort of triggery email where you give them a secret module to go in and click complete on. Then they get the points. Or secret training.
Mhm.
Brilliant, thank you. I will
All
do
right.
something like that.
Sorry
Thanks.
for the interruption.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Lucia. That's fantastic. All right. David, how's it going? I saw your hand before. How
Yeah,
are you
well,
doing?
thank you. Well, going well, and 90% done with setting up my course,
Fantastic.
probably 95 actually.
Nice.
And I've already set up a sales funnel. And
Nice.
one of the challenges that I have is that, of course, there are only two options for the payment gateway, either Stripe or PayPal. I've chosen Stripe because of its flexibility.
Mhm.
However, I need to give you a bit of context because, see, a majority of my target audience is really within East Africa, Kenya and East Africa. And 70% of all transactions in Kenya, for example, are processed through mobile transactions.
Mhm.
Now, to just give you an idea what that means is that about 59% of Kenya's GDP flows through mobile money, what we call M-Pesa. So the problem I have is, okay, well, another data is only 6% of people use credit cards.
Can I
Only
jump in real
6%.
quick? Is the problem the
Yes.
payment processor? Is that the bottom line?
So
Yeah.
yes, just finding out how I can,
Yep.
make M-Pesa an option for payment.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
the options for payment in XP's order form directly are Stripe or PayPal. PayPal supports single payments only. If you have a subscription or an installment plan, it would need to be Stripe. So if you need anything other than that, if that doesn't work for various reasons, you can use your Go Plus account, which is going to have very extensive options, or you can link directly to your XP course using any payment processor that integrates with Zapier. So Zapier is a tool that just connects different platforms or tools, lets them talk to each other. So if you have a payment processor of your choice, you can set up a Zap, it's called, so that when they pay in this payment processor, they are automatically added to your course in Experienceify. So basically, those are your three options. XP does Stripe and PayPal directly. Go Plus does lots more. Probably most of what you want to do could be done in Go Plus. If you need a third option, find a payment processor that works for you and use Zapier to connect it to your course.
Okay.
That
That's very
helpful?
helpful. I'll explore if Go Plus can integrate M-Pesa. Just one more question with Zapier. Would that mean buying that as a separate subscription?
I believe they have a free plan that's up to like a handful of zaps a month. I'm not sure the details, but I know they do have a basic free plan, and then yes, paid plans if you need more.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll explore those two.
Awesome. Thanks, David. All
Thank you,
right, I
Tim.
just realized I realized Dan had another question that we didn't get to yet about the bonus, setting up a bonus module. We want to talk about automations. So I think we answered, did we get the first part of your question about the quizzes, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
So,
great.
so you're going to set up a tag based on answers. And then for automations, we're going to go into step 5. And this is where we set up all the fun stuff. Super quick, basic overview of the automations just to hit some really important things you don't want to forget. I'm going to show creating one from scratch. First thing you're going to do is add your trigger, and we'll go back. I just want to do an overview here. So every automation, if we look at a whole automation, every automation is going to have a starting trigger, one or more pathways, and then actions. Heads up that the very first thing you always want to do when you create an automation is give it a name that you're going to recognize. So I'm going to call this quiz responses because that's what we're talking about. That's super important because when something doesn't go as expected and you need to look in your student's activity log to find out why, you're going to need a name that you can recognize rather than something generic like that. So with every automation, we've got a starting trigger, which right now I set to when the user receives 0 tag. We've got one or more pathways, and this is how we can separate. This is one option of how we can separate who goes where. But we're not going to worry about pathways for the moment because for Dan, for what you're asking for, I think the simplest way is going to be to create an automation based on a tag. It's going to be for
Can I
all
just ask a
students.
question here?
Yeah.
When I'm looking at this, creating an automation, I see the renaming it part. I don't have, maybe I'm missing it, which is probably the most likely thing.
Mhm.
But this, like, who should go down this path? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have that divide, that arrow that divides and segments the thing.
Right over here. You want to just click
Oh, okay.
right here. See it?
Okay. Hmm.
That's a great question. So I should have said you want to click to open it up. And then inside we've got one or more pathways.
Okay.
And then we've got one or more actions. I'm going to show a couple things real quick. Actually, I should have used something quicker, but we can add an email here. Same thing as with naming the automation. You want to give your email. This is an internal name for you that you can recognize. So
Response number 1.
yeah, or release,
Response.
I'll call it release bonus
Sorry.
1.
Are you showing it on the screen? Because I don't see it.
Can you all see my screen?
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it should be on the screen here. If you hit your / key again. Once again, you've got tokens to pull up. So if you want to put the student's name in the subject line. And then, of course, we've got your email. I'm going to go ahead and save that. So basically, what we've got here is your first action. And then, by the way, you can always add a series of actions. And these are going to go in order. Once we're inside of an automation. So automations, sometimes people ask, do these go in order? No, this order doesn't mean anything because every automation is independent, started by its trigger, right?
Right.
But once we're in the automation, I might want to do a bonus, and then maybe I want to do a delay timer of 1 day. Or maybe I have a delay that doesn't fit exactly in my timers, so I want to stack delay timers of 1 day and 1 hour for whatever reason.
Right.
And then I want to release a bonus training. So here's the thing, when there's a bonus, it's always, you're always,
Sorry. I'm
yeah, go ahead.
following you, but I'm kind of getting lost
Yeah.
because I think we're doing two. I was doing two different things. The
Mhm.
bonus setup in the EMC is
Mhm.
that when you complete training number 2, it unlocks a bonus.
Mhm.
This is the multiple choice at the very end, right?
Mhm.
Which just fires off the emails.
Yeah.
So I think I've got that latter part figured out. I'm
Mhm.
stuck with how to release the bonus inside the second training because it seems to me, I could be wrong, but that there's already the button on day 2 for the EMC, like
Mhm.
click here, the whole little section opens up when you've completed it. So it
Mhm.
opens up the bonus section, then you click the button, then the button goes somewhere. That's where I'm getting
Mhm.
stuck there. There's a button that's supposed to go to somewhere, a
Yep.
single bonus training thing, but I can't find it. I can edit it, but I can't find it. I don't know if that's making any sense.
I think it is. Yep. And the first thing to know is that the path's going to be the same to, there are different ways you can do this, and I'll go ahead
Okay.
and show kind of all
Sure,
the
yeah.
things you're talking about real
Okay.
quick. But one way to do this, the bonus training is always going to be in step 3. So when you're looking for where to find and edit the bonus training, that's going to be in step 3 unless you've set things up in a customized way, but I don't think
Sure.
that's the case here. So one thing you can do is just click unlock training.
Hmm.
And then if I had bonus trainings in here, I do.
Okay.
So I've called them bonus training 1 for myself for clarity.
Yep.
So I can unlock a bonus training. So there's options of how you can do this, can release a bonus, but you can set an automation that when they receive a tag, the bonus training is now available to them. So that's the first thing to know.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
does, sorry, I'm a little slow on this. Where does that become available? So they
Yeah. I'm going to show you that.
they complete question number 2 on training 2, they get
Mhm.
the tag releases the thing. What shows up? Do they get the bonus section with the training on that page?
Yeah.
Does it open up in a different file?
So we're going to go there next, and I'm going to show you a couple of
Okay.
things.
All
And
right.
then,
Okay.
again, it's possible you may want someone to go in more deeper with you and go through your course
Sure.
specifically, but I'll show you the things. The first thing before we leave the automation is that this is the 99% of the time when automations didn't go off, it was because they were not toggled on.
Activated. Yep.
So we need all systems green, including trigger, pathway, and whatever actions you want to fire. So that's the first thing to know, is that you can set it up as an automation. You can release it based on the tag. As far as where it shows up, there are different possibilities, and I'm going to give you quick overview, and then the answer to your specific question, which is making a specific block appear based
Yep.
on visibility. And I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm working with the EMC template that already
Mhm.
has the block that shows up,
Right.
but the block that shows up has the click here for your bonus, right? So I've got the block that shows up because it's been tagged as provided feedback on training day 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that shows up and then they can click it, but then I haven't figured out how to make the training and the button kind of work together.
Mm-hmm. So options to do this are you can have a bonuses page where the bonus trainings live, and you can send people
Okay.
to that page through a link.
Okay.
By the way, you can also make this link on the navigation tab appear or disappear based on tag. So people wouldn't even see the option to get to the bonuses before they have the tag. You can also, again, link directly there. And then, as I think you know, Dan, but I'm going to show it for the recording because it's an
Sure, yeah.
important piece. Dan's talking about how blocks can appear and disappear, and we would do that option in step 4 by going into the page where a block might appear and disappear. And for any block, if we hover over it and edit the content, we're going to see block visibility, and we could select to show this block only to people with a particular tag, which means that as soon as, for example, they click done and complete something, this could appear. If you're talking about a button that links to something, you would probably the link in the button would take you to the page is one option, would
Yep.
take you to where it lives. Or again, another block could just appear directly below and your bonus could appear right there.
How do I have the bonus appear in the block below?
So we would do a training contents block from the left-hand side here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We would edit the content of the training contents block. We would select what we want to show. And just notice the pieces of this. We've got all the trainings, all the modules.
And this is
And
an individual page? Sorry, this is like a page that links to something, or I can actually do the training on this page.
you can do the training on this page if you want.
Okay.
So that's what I'm
That's
showing
probably my
here.
simplest way because there's
Yeah.
no automation, there's no other opening um things across the top, the bonuses and whatever else. Just if you
Well, you'll
click the
still have an
button,
automation you'll still have an automation somewhere because you got to give them a
sure, because
tag.
that's
But
yeah.
yeah, but you'll just
So I can
select
open up a training section below. Now, can I do that on a single page? Because if I just want to do that on page, it's set to a tag, so it doesn't show up unless it's tagged. Okay. All right.
exactly,
That's answered the
exactly.
question. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right,
So
thanks.
sorry. Can we just run through that last part again? Because I think I got it, but then I'm gonna hang up here and I'm gonna be confused again.
Yeah, and this will be in the recording as well, but tell me which piece
Okay, so
um
the bonus section shows up when they get
mhm,
the tag. So then I link the training. Um, do they need to hit the button that says collect your training bonus here? I guess I can make the clicking of the button the tag that opens up the
exactly.
training section below it, and
Exactly.
then that's now available. Okay,
Exactly.
all right. That's not an external. That's an internal. That's an internal thing, or it doesn't even matter. The visibility piece, like it says the link, the button does internal, external, or something else.
Oh, that's talking about where the button takes them to. So just set it to take them to the same page. Don't worry about the button then. the purpose of the button in that case is to give them a tag, not to take them somewhere else.
Okay, so how do I mark that the button gives a tag?
You're going to select that when you create the button.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Great stuff, y'all.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Thank you. The recording will be up shortly, and keep me posted on how all of this goes. I will see you soon.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.